Yeah. I'd say the thing that sort of first led me to doing the research for the piece was, with the corona pandemic going on, saw some articles sort of correlating the two epidemics, and I thought to myself, I was like, are they comparable? So I did, we did our research, and I mean, they're really not. The difference in reaction is completely different. It's a time period, and it's putting, groups that have been marginalised against a greater community. So that's sort of what, inspired me to sort of write about it. And it's also an acknowledgement to something really awful that happened that couldn't happen now, yet it did, and it was 40 years ago. And that's such a short amount of time, but something so atrocious happened and no one really did anything.
I think people our age as well don't really know much about it. Like recently there's been like It's a Sin, or you can see plays like The Normal Heart and Aims of America, but apart from that, I know when I was researching it, I didn't know 3/4 of the stuff.
Nowhere near.
I just didn't know about it, and so I think it's good to bring it out to people who are coming to watch it, and to show them that it even happened to people that lived around the same area as you.
I think when you're developing a character, you have this notion of them in your head, and you really, I think for me personally, I really wanted my character to be a certain way, but through the action of it and the rehearsal process, you realise, no, they're not actually that way. Just like in real life, they're multifaceted, they're human, so you sort of, it becomes more of a learning experience of, actually, I may have wrote this character a certain way and I really want them to be this way, but they don't need to be this way all the time, and not all their interactions are going to be a certain way, and there's layers and there's levels to the character, which I think you don't find
at
the
first. You don't think they'll even have that just about them, or say with choices, they won't make those choices, but as the process goes on, you realise maybe they'll react differently to what you had in your head in the first place. I also think at first, when we were even trying to create the characters, let alone develop them, I know personally I wanted to put a bit of myself into the character, even though some of the decisions that my character may make, or some of the stories that she goes through, are different to what I do. I wanted to include some of my characteristics into her, and I found that an easier way to develop on more what she would be like.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd also say that it's within the process of making the character, you really got to find the line between yourself and that person, especially when you're writing something. You become that point. I think you yourself as the writer become a point of reference for something. So you're thinking, how would I react to this? But I think in developing it, it's it's okay to stray away from who you are, and also it's really important to find a line between yourself and the character, because then in the ongoing action of the piece, you can sort of differentiate between, this is how I'd react, but this is how my character's going to react.
I'm going to change the last question.